Hi, everybody. My name is Chrissy.
Hi, and I'm Lynn, and we're from the Chattanooga Public Library.
And for today's activity, we are going to be having a pop art extravaganza. So we are going to do some DIY screen printing. We're going to go over some supplies and instructions, and by the end, we are going to be able to screen print our own amazing pop art. Sound good?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Okay, so the supplies that you are going to need to make your very own screen is going to be, the first is your base, which I'm using an embroidery hoop, and that's what Len is using as well. So then we need fabric for our screen. So Lynn is actually going to be using some of our screen printing fabric, our screen that we have at the library. So she's using one of our old screens and she's just gonna cut out that screen. But we know that most people at home don't have that. So another thing that you can use, which is what I will be using, are going to be nylons. So you can get these very, very, very cheap at any drugstore. Besides those two things, the other things you're gonna need, you're gonna need a design. So Lynn is going to be doing a lightning bolt, and she is going to be using the positive space of the lightning bolt. So the positive space is the main portion of the picture. So I am using this Eye of Horus design, and I'm going to be doing the negative space. So we're gonna talk about that a little later. After that, you are going to need some sort of glue. I'm gonna be using Mod Podge, but you can also use Elmer's glue, you could use tacky glue, you could use wood glue, literally any type of glue will work for this. You'll also need some tape, paint brushes, and some paint for your final product. I'm gonna be using tempera paint today because I am screen printing on watercolor paper, but you can also use fabric paint if you wanna screen print on a shirt or any type of fabric. All right, so those are all of our supplies. Lynn, do you have all of yours ready?
I think I do.
All right, here we go. So our first step is going to be cutting out our design. So like I said, I'm going to be using the negative space for my screen. So what that means is I am going to have paint all around the edges, and the paper will be showing through my actual design. Now Lynn's is going to be the opposite. So she's going to cut hers out where the paint goes through her design and is covering the background. So if we think about, this is what yours is gonna end up looking like once you use the screen. So if you kind of put your hand behind the lightning bolt, and we'll pretend that's paint. Ah, look at that. So that's what's gonna be showing on whatever you decide to screen print, is the paint is going to seep through just the lightning bolt, and the glue is going to block everything else. Your background is your negative space. So my main picture is going to be everything that is colored black, right? So that's my positive. The neon yellow on mine is the negative.
So this is the negative space. This is the positive space. And the print that I'm going to be making is going to be the positive space.
Right. But to make your screen, you want to cut out the positive. I'm going to cut out the negative of mine. For my screen, anything that's yellow on my card here, that's going to be where the paint goes. For first-time screen printers, I would recommend doing the easier version, which is going to be Lynn's, doing the positive. Because it's a lot easier to cut out just like one shape than having to cut out all of these shapes and keep them intact. So my design has been cut out. Yay. All right, so the next step is going to be setting up our screens. So we're gonna be taking our embroidery hoop, and for anybody who has not used an embroidery hoop before, they're very fun. What you're gonna do is you're going to unscrew to loosen up the two hoops, and then the center hoop will pop out. This is okay. You did not break it. This is the way it needs to be. All right, so we're going to now get whatever fabric you are using and put it in. So I need to go ahead and cut my nylons. Okay, So I have my nylons ready to go, and we want it to be stretched out because you do want, you can kind of see that this fabric is translucent whenever it is stretched out, and we do want that because we want the glue to fill the holes that it needs to, but we also want the paint to seep through the holes that we want the paint to seep through. So I'm going to go ahead and take my nylons and stretch them over my purple larger hoop. This might be a joint project, part of the project if you haven't used an embroidery hoop before. So I'm just going to stretch it over, and then you take your center piece and pop it on back in.
And how, like, super, super tight does it need to be? Like, mine is just a little tiny, I cut it a little tiny bit small, like not too much, but it like buckles just a little.
Well, so here's the thing with that, is if your fabric doesn't cover the hoop, that means that paint's gonna seep through there.
Okay.
Unless you are extremely careful, which I bet you will be.
I might be able to shimmy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like with a little bit of pulling here and there.
Yes. That's what I'm doing right now. You can.
And the hoop should be tight.
Yes, the hoop should be tight. So you can go ahead, and once you have your fabric in your hoop, you can go ahead and just tighten that screw right at the top. And then I'm kind of going ahead and pulling my fabric taut around it. So whenever you have your fabric pulled as tight as you want it to be, then I'm gonna, if you have extra fabric, go ahead and cut around it. So I'm just gonna turn mine over and start cutting the excess fabric off. So,
and I just have these tiny little corners hanging off. Is that too much?
Totally fine. Totally fine. Okay, so now is the time that we are going to grab our design and our Mod Podge and our tape, and we are going to create our screen. So I'm going to take mine and just, I'm using duct tape. I think that any kind of tape would work, but I like for things to be really stuck on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear my duct tape into sections, do loop, and put it on the back. I'm going to do this a few times just to really secure my screen down. What we do at the library for this is we create our designs with our vinyl plotter and literally use like a giant sticker to create our screens. And that way it really helps to make the glue not seep under, you know, the fine corners. Okay, so I have mine all on there. That looks really good. I have a feeling yours is going to turn out a lot better than mine. That's okay.
I doubt that, but okay.
Well,
so now the exciting part.
Yes, now comes the exciting part. We are going to take our glue.
Okay.
Take our Mod Podge, take our Elmer's glue. If you use Elmer's washes out. So if you mess up, you can just like go rinse it out, let it dry, and try again. But I'm going to go with Mod Podge because that one is forever.
We're living on the edge.
We're living on the edge here.
Feeling daring.
So I have a couple of different sizes of paintbrushes. It's kind of up to you. Since I've got some smaller details, I'm going to be using a medium size and a smaller size. I'm probably going to stick to the smaller size. And we're just going to not overload our brush, but, you know, fill it up. And wherever you see on your screen, wherever you see the color of it, that is where your paint or your glue goes. Got it?
So my glue is going to go everywhere.
In the negative space, yes. And mine's going to go in the positive space. Well, and so here's the other thing that you can do which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take mine off because I have the general shape. You can see that, the color is definitely different from this pink up here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my stencil off, and then I'm going to take my precision brush and fix any mess ups. Usually we try to suggest to let it dry for a little bit because there's always a danger in lifting your design that, it'll catch on some of the Mod Podge that isn't dry and pull it, but let's try it out.
Also, one of the cool things about DIY is that it's not always perfect. And that's how you know that it wasn't made by a machine.
Yeah.
It was made by a person with potentially shaky hands or concentration or mistakes and flaws. Kind of love that.
Right. That is the spirit of DIY, right? What we're going to do is turn, once this dries, you're going to turn it face down onto whatever you're screen printing. So it's going to be the reverse. All right, so here comes the least fun part of the project. We have to let it dry. So we're going to let this dry, and then we are going to show you both of our processes of screen printing. To go over those instructions really fast, after you let it dry, you are going to turn it over, take some paint and brush over the backside, brush over, let it seep through, and then you're just going to lift up your screen, and fingers crossed, your design will be on your piece of paper. So we're going to show you our process right now, and we'll see how it turns out.
Having never done a screen print before, I didn't have a clear idea of how much paint I should use for the printing part. So you can see where I probably put too much on there and probably squished it through too much to make it too full of paint on the backside, which is why that first lightning bolt was kind of smeary and gross. But you can see as I went on and tried different ways to do it that I was able to figure out how to get just the right amount of paint through so that by the end I was able to make a lightning bolt print without all of the extra mess around the center of the image. The other thing I would suggest, I guess, is not using, the other thing I would suggest aside from using less paint as opposed to more paint would be to use the brush in one direction as you scrape the paint through the screen onto the paper. By the end of it, you can see that I was making much neater looking lightning bolts, and hopefully you will practice a little bit yourself and figure out exactly what the technique is that works for you. Make sure that you send us any pictures that you might have of your own screen printing efforts. You can share them on social media and tag us on Instagram or Facebook, and we would be so happy to see the ways that you have made your own DIY screen prints. See you soon. Bye.